Those sustainers, once again, you're welcome to another episode of the Sustainers program. Last time we discussed on sustainable agriculture, and we received different questions and different topics people want us to talk about. And one of them was the importance of youth in agriculture. So, youth in agriculture, that's what we're going to talk about today. Now, before we dive into this topic, we have to understand what the youth represents. What does youth stand for? It stands for freshness. It stands for vigor. It stands for strength. It stands for energy. It stands for spontaneity. It stands for spirit. When we understand this, then we are going to understand the importance of youth in agriculture. About 1.2 billion youths in the world. 88% of these youths are from developing countries and underdeveloped countries, just like sub-Saharan countries like Cameroon, Nigeria, Ghana, all these countries. And we have to understand the primary activity of this country is agriculture. It's agriculture. And 2 out of 3 of these youths live in rural communities, and 80% of the activities in rural community is from agriculture. So we cannot talk of agriculture without talking of the youth. We need youth to grow more food. We need youth to transform food systems, and we need youths to build economies that will lift entire communities off poverty. With arable land, a growing middle class, and a growing market. Even with the growing market, the availability of arable land, the growing middle class, and the knowledge we have of agriculture being the backbone of every economy, and the potential agriculture has to elevate people from poverty, why do we still have 2/3 of youths unemployed? Some are underpaid, and the exploitation is enormous. Why do we still have that in communities? What are the challenges that youths are facing when it comes to engaging in agriculture? One of the major reasons why youths are not engaging in agriculture is lack of finance. We have lack of finance. A lot of youths have quite brilliant projects. They want to engage, from tomato farming to food processing to agribusiness and all of those different things. Lack of finance. We also have the issue of a well-structured market. It's also a problem. The markets are very volatile, prices are unstable, and sometimes some of them will even get engaged and dare to start their farms. After a year or two, you don't find them doing agriculture because they were not able to get good prices for their products. We also have issue of technology. I think that's one of the major challenge we have. The youths, years after years, from our forefathers doing agriculture with machetes and cutlass and with all those archaic methods. Those are the things our parents are still using till today, and youths today don't see themselves going back and still using these things, which are very stressful, tiring, and very slow. And with this, you cannot even have a standard production. So don't have they face difficulties of training. They don't have the proper training to carry out agriculture. We are in a world where a lot of things has changed. Agriculture is not as easy as it was due to climate change and so many things that is happening. So they lack the necessary training. For instance, there are youths who want to engage in aquaculture, fish farming, snail farming, but they lack the skills. They lack the skills and the practical knowledge. Much as we have 600 million arable land, we still face difficulties in getting. We still face difficulties to get lands. The reason is this: some communities, the fathers of these communities have sold the entire land, and foreigners, different people from different areas all over the world, they've come to this area, built houses, and then these areas, the children don't even have lands to cultivate, and other another difficulty is in most communities, some villages we go to, you find youths, you find lands only in the hands of some few families. These are the founding families. They have hundreds of hectares, some have thousands of hectares, and then you find other families where they have very small portions of farmland. So it becomes very challenging. So this is also another issue. And now, even if the arable land is available, how is there accessibility to the land? Is there accessibility to the land? That's another major issue in most communities. You find lands that are hundreds of miles from the main village settlement, where you have to trek for 3 hours, 4 hours to get them. So to have good farmlands that are accessible to these people, to these young people, is very challenging. The logistics are not in place. Farm to market roads are not available. These challenges makes it very difficult for you to engage in agriculture. Like access to knowledge. Now, when you carry out agriculture, you need to know where to get your inputs, and you need to know how the market function and where you can sell your produce. That is a very big challenge in agriculture, particularly in sub-Saharan Africa and other African areas. The reason is lots of time the information is closed. We have middlemen who don't want farmers to meet the big buyers directly, who don't want farmers to meet those who buy in huge quantities. They don't want farmers to meet consumers directly. Yeah, like for instance, we have a situation where the middlemen buy cocoa from rural farmers and they supply it to companies like Total and in Cameroon. So they try to make the information very difficult for rural farmers to know how they sell this produce to them and all of that. And also when it comes to information on where to get particular inputs that are important for agriculture, we don't have that system in place. Also a system where there's a database where we can go there and get information on the kind of crops and to cultivate at a particular point in time, to get information on the particular agroclimatic condition of a place at the time and how all these things will look like with it. These challenges are just so many, but I want to talk based on the experiences I've had in the field, based on the experiences I've had in the field as a consultant, as a community development expert, someone working with a non-profit and just trying to change lives. One of the greatest things I've seen in the field is we lack mechanization in Africa. The agricultural sector in Cameroon and Africa is not mechanized. It is very challenging to some of these youths even have the lands. Some will even have 5-10 hectares, but it's very difficult to clear a farm with cutlass. 10 hectares is so challenging and so stressful. And then sometimes you ask yourself, if I do this, my hands, there's blisters on my hands, I'm sweating, my back is aching. What kind of a job is this? It is time we try to provide the machineries for these young farmers who want to engage in agriculture, the tractors, the plowing machines, all these things. We need to try and get this. Let's mechanize the system. Another thing I've realized is one of the hindrances for youths is the market. The market is growing, yes, but can we standardize prices? Sometimes you go to the market, you after investing so much, how much you sell your produce? Farmers in rural areas today are complaining because of the prices in cocoa. Chemicals have gone up, but the price for cocoa is still down there. It's even reducing. Our parents used to sell cocoa for 1,500, but today we sell a kilogram of cocoa for 900 francs. How do we encourage the young generation to engage in farming when the prices of commodities are not standardized? Prices keep fluctuating year after year, and it's really killing the sector. The middlemen have taken opportunity, and information is closed. Farmers, young people who want to engage in farming don't even know where to sell, and where you want to sell, there are a lot of bottlenecks. So I think these are one of the major challenges. We have to make agriculture sexy again, just like technology, just like the health sector. Farmers have to be able to look good. Farmers have to be able to be rich. We cannot have a population, rural population. Our parents, 80% of them are engaged in agriculture. agriculture, and then we find just a handful of them making it in the field. How do we encourage the young people to engage in such a field where even their parents have failed? So it is time we bring this change. It is time we make policies that is going to help young people. We finance their project, give them the proper training that they need to be able to engage massively in agriculture. I want to talk to all the youths out there, irrespective of all these challenges. I want to tell you that you are that generation that stands to end world hunger. You're that generation that is going to elevate people from malnutrition. You're that generation that is going to bring solutions to help us adapt to climate change. You're that generation. As we know, the challenges are going to be there. In every sector in life, there are challenges. But if you are a young person, wherever you are, in Africa, wherever, everywhere in the world, I want to tell you, you're that generation. And all these challenges, we can turn them into solutions. That is who we are as youths. We are resilient. We are spontaneous. We are creative people. And it is time that we, the youths, get into agriculture with such energy, and then we'll be able to create change. It's time we, the youths, get ourselves into positions where we can create policies that is going to help more and more youths engage in agriculture to boost food production across the entire world, particularly in Africa. I want to advise all the youths, these challenges will be there, but it's time for you to stand up and be strong. It's time for you to know that you are that generation that is going to save millions from dying from hunger and malnutrition. You are that generation. You're that generation. And I want to thank you so much, because I know there's going to be a generation where we're going to have youths that are making it massive in agriculture. And also, I want to plead with policymakers, non-profit organizations, to come together, to come and see how they can assist youths in developing projects, financing projects for them. Okay, thank you so much, guys, sustainers. Thank you so much once again for watching this video. We'll be talking about this in agriculture, and if you have any question, you can ask us. If there's something you want us to talk on our next episode, you tell us the complaints and your worry, and we'll come here and talk about it. If you have any question to ask, you can write us at sustainafrica@gmail.com. Also, you can check out our website at sustainafrica.org. You'll be able to talk with us. Check us on all the social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and all of that. We are there at Sustain of Fake. So we're always there to talk to you. Remember, we the young people are the future. We are full of energy, and we want to see an Africa with zero hunger. We want to see people farming in more sustainable manner. We want to see an Africa that the youths are self-employed in the agricultural sector. We love you. Continue to be a sustainer. Thank you. I remain G40 Prince, your celebrity farmer. Thank you.